Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno. We are here for the Jameson Cult Film Club for a special screening of Jaws, and we speak to curator Andy Serkis, who tells us why this film is still so dear to our hearts. Andy, lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
And you're here as curator as the Jameson Film Club.
That's
so
right.
What's that entailed?
Well, it's basically I was thrilled to be asked to have some input into choosing some films for a film club for a classic film club that takes films out of cinema and takes them to interesting venues. And here we are tonight as a perfect example of one, which is on the River Thames for the celebrating of the film Jaws. I mean, it's just great, to actually I mean, it is a celebration of the fact that we want to revisit these films time and time again, ones that have been part of our collective consciousness over the last however many years.
And growing up as well.
Yeah,
really.
absolutely.
The interesting thing that happened with me like the weekend, because I was actually flicking through my DVD collection and I didn't even know about this event happening, and I happened upon Jaws, and I was turning the pages and I was like, no, I've got to go back to it. And I was watching it the weekend, and it's just one of those, it's just great filmmaking, isn't it?
I mean, it's superb filmmaking. And when you think about it, for its time, not only was it groundbreaking in terms of animatronics, it was also groundbreaking in the fact that for like 2/3 of the movie is a handheld film on a boat, because they didn't have steady cams. It's an extraordinary DOP movie because as I say, for once they get onto that boat, it's all handheld, and it's I mean, it blows my mind every time I think about it, because when you think about how steady you'd have to be to hold a camera those sizes with those lenses at that time,
It's pretty hard going, and also you've got Roy Schneider as well, who brings so much truth to the part, doesn't he?
Yeah, extraordinary performance, and called Richard Dreyfuss as well. I mean, and also it's such a brilliantly written movie to have the central character, to be so terrified of water and have to go and not only face the monster in the water, but face the water. It's a brilliant, just fantastic piece of writing.
Was it a difficult choice for you to come across and pick Jaws as one of the
No, I mean, one could say it's a mainstream film, but it's just such a classic, and just. There are so many memorable moments, and that's the thing about all of these films. They're made up of incredible moments that just are seared into our, as I say, into our collective consciousness.
And the interesting thing that you touched upon there as well was with the animatronics, because we're going back to a period of filmmaking where it was all practical.
That's right.
These effects are shot in camera, and they still. This is the magic of the filmmaking. It still built up tension, and it was scary, wasn't it?
And totally holds up to this day. I mean, that's the thing. There are so many different ways of tricking the eye, in filmmaking, and now, of course, with the CG kind of revolution over the last 20 years, it's become a different ball game, and anything's possible. But when you think, like you say, about the skill of doing that in camera and making it believable and terrifying, and also the choice to the way it was shot, where you see a lot of it from the shark's point of view. A lot of that is shot from underneath, people's legs and underneath the water, looking up into the sky, and it's just very brave, innovative filmmaking.
And as a brave filmmaker yourself, I mean, you're now part of a revolutionary team of filmmakers who are using motion capture. How has that, do you think, revolutionised really filmmaking?
Well, it's what's kind of extraordinary about performance capture, as it's now called. It's moved on from motion capture because it's about kind of capturing the entire performance rather than just the physicality. Is that it really, again, it liberates the actor to play any kind of role. You're putting on, when you put on a motion capture suit, or a performance capture suit, it's like a magic suit, because it enables you to, when you can see in real time, you can see a digital character that you're playing, and you lift your arm up, and then this ape lifts its arm up. It is like looking into a magic mirror, and having one performance capture suit can play, be 1,000 costumes, so it's a really incredible tool, and I think the understanding of it as well in the industry has grown, obviously over the years, and people are beginning to really see it for what it is, which is in effect just another way of recording an actor's performance. It's not a genre of acting, it's not a type of acting. You don't do a performance captured kind of, you know, type of acting.
Capturing it.
It's you're playing a character, and as you would in a live action movie, or you know, it's all about the emotional truth of the character and embodying a role. It's just another way of manifesting it on screen.
Are you still having to perform dialogue when you're delivering a performance with the with the performance capture as well?
Oh yeah, no, it is like filming the entire. You know, it's like as much as we're talking here now. If I was playing Gollum now and sitting here, you know, in my performance capture suit, and I would play Gollum out with you now, and I would do, you know, speak his dialogue and so forth. You know, it's all about the interaction between the actors. So that's what it is.
And with wearing the suit, you know, for a lot of actors as well, they obviously a lot are also in character before they even walk onto the set. Mm-hmm. But for a lot of actors, actually putting on the suit and wearing what that person would wear actually finishes off their performance. Mm-hmm. So how does that? Because you've got that minimalism really with what you're wearing. Absolutely. How does that affect you? You
have to find different ways of centering yourself and internalising the kind of the I mean, it's a very pure form of acting, and it's very, you know, accurate of you to say that. You don't get any help from any stimulation from a costume, or, you know, because it is important for actors, you know, to have the right, you know, the right shoes, or the right, or, you know, or makeup, you know, the right wig or whatever. And you don't have any of that, and so a lot of the work has to be done internally, and I don't think people really fully understand that, or they are beginning to now. You know, that actually, when you see a performance captured role and it works, it's because the intentions and the truth of the character is being played out by the actor, or it's what's happening between two actors in the same way as a live action movie.
And with your own business as well, with Imaginarium. Can you tell us more about what is it just a studio, or? No,
it's the Imaginarium is basically which has been set up and running now for about a year. We're based at Ealing Studios. Jonathan Cavendish, who produced all the Bridget Jones movies, is my producing partner, and we have a very big part of what we do is developing scripts for ourselves. For me to direct and for other people to direct also, as well as service providing for films and video games and TV shows. And also an interesting area of use of performance capture is the live theatre kind of arena, where you can have actors with markers on driving real-time avatar characters, whether they be dancers or performers or even for festivals, for rock festivals and so on. You know, it's a very again, it's sort of a burgeoning part of the industry that not many people know about. But the Imaginarium is this sort of creative lab where you can, you know, instead of sort of the traditional way of making films where you develop a script on it by itself for a long period of time, the great thing about having a studio space is that you can bring writers and directors and actors into the mix together early on. And so you can put scenes up on their feet and start to experiment with them and shoot them and develop, you know, if they're digital characters, then you can start to see if the characters are really working and so forth. So you're actually making the film long before principal photography starts.
Oh, that's amazing. And you've got you've got a central location where all this creative energy is all coming into force as well.
Right. And plus we've got the other really important thing, and why I wanted to set it up in the first place was that we have a sort of academy attached to it, and that we've got links to like Portsmouth University in Bournemouth and so on, a lot of the colleges. You know, we've got a lot of interns coming from those places, and it's really important to build bridges to industry for those environments, so that they've got somewhere, you know, and they train up with us, and you know, it's trying to sort of firmly bed it into the film industry in this country, so that we can continue to make bigger, more expansive, more visually kind of expansive projects, I suppose.
Well, that's it from the Jameson Cult Film Club special screening of Jaws, and all I can say is that there's certainly nothing hazardous about the lovely Andy Serkis. I'm Claire Bueno, and you're watching Premier Scene.